Good morning, all. Now I call upon all chief guests and HODs to the stage. IT Management for the workshop on National Level Electric Bike Design Challenge 2022. I request everyone to stand up for the prayer song. I request our Head of the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Dr. B. Sokalingam sir, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning to all of you. It is my pleasure in delivering the welcome address for the inaugural function and workshop of National Level Electric Bike Design Challenge. It gives me a great honor and privilege to welcome our chief guest, Mr. K.R.N. Manoj, Director Operations, Pumot Technovation India Private Limited, Coimbatore. Welcome you, sir. And Mr. M. Karthi, Mr. Seduraj, sir, EMF Innovation Private Limited, Coimbatore. Welcome you, sirs. Sirs, I thank all of you for having spared your valuable time to grace us with your august presence in this morning. Now I welcome all the head of the departments for their presence and support. I extend a warm welcome to Mr. B. Varun, Mr. S. Veerakumar, Department of Mechanical Engineering, organizers of this workshop, and I welcome all my faculty colleagues who are present here. I would like to welcome all the coordinators, student volunteers of various committees of this workshop. I take this opportunity to welcome all the participating teams, Team Fiereza, Tyagaraja Polytechnic College, Salem, Team HPC, Hindustan Polytechnic College, Coimbatore, Teton Falcon Cruisers, MVG College of Engineering, Bangalore, Team Moto Mania, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Team Green Payora, Sri Sairam Engineering College, Chennai, Team Automotive Makers, Bannariaman Institute of Technology, Erode, Team 40VT T2 Knowledge Institute of Technology, Salem, Team Megatron Sri Ramakrishna Institute of Technology, Coimbatore. All the faculty members, students for this inaugural function. I extend a hearty welcome to one and all present here who are attending this workshop. Once again, on behalf of our department, Mechanical Engineering, Sri Ramakrishna Institute of Technology, I welcome you all for this workshop. I wish this workshop to be successful and reach its goals. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's time to inaugurate the event with lighting a lamp. I request the on-stage guests to light the lamp. I'd like to introduce Mr. KRN Manoj sir, who is currently working as a Director Operations at Pumo Technovation India Private Limited, Coimbatore. He completed his bachelor degree in Mechanical Engineering Department at Anna University from 2009 to 2013. After his UG, he did his MTech in Manufacturing Management at BITS Pilani. He worked as a maintenance engineer in transporting and contracting company at Maldives for 2.5 years. And then he worked as an assistant professor in Qadar College of Engineering for around 10 months and also worked as a corporate project manager at SS Technovation for 5 years. We welcome you, sir. Now it's time to introduce another chief guest, Mr. M. Karthi, sir, who is currently working as Business Development Manager at EMF Innovations Private Limited, and Sethu Raj, sir, from EMF Innovations Private Limited. He completed his bachelor degree in Electronics and Instrumentation at Adyaman College of Engineering, Hosur, from 2009 to 2013. He worked as an electrical site engineer in Mac Controls and System Private Limited. He also worked as an electrical design engineer at Cedar Group APD Saudi for 2 years. We welcome you, sir. Now it's time to honor our chief guest with a shawl and momentum. I request Mr. B. Varun sir to talk about the event.
A warm good morning to one and all present here. I would like to thank the organizers, management, HOD for giving me the opportunity to talk about the event and to address the gathering about the Electric Bike Design Challenge EBDC 2022. Transportation is transforming and we need to get ready. As the talk propelled by James Campbell, Rocky Mountain Power, today in 20th century or 21st century, the transport is changing. Transportation methodology is changing. Nowadays, slowly, steadily, electric vehicles or electrical power is getting into the market. They are penetrating into the market. Slowly, the fossil fuels are vanishing, and we are looking for the alternate power sources. Electric vehicles are run by electric motors, which are powered by energy stored in batteries. Electric vehicles have an electric motor instead of internal combustion engines. Previously, all the mechanical engineers, we are looking for, or we are discussing about internal combustion engines, suction, compression, ignition, and exhaust. But slowly, internal combustion engines is out of market. Instead of internal combustion engines, we are working with electric motors and hub motors. As an electric vehicle runs on electricity, the vehicle emits no exhaust from the tailpipe. That is, Theoretically, it has zero tailpipe emission and does not contain components like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, or nitrous oxide. How do electric cars affect society? What are the applications of electric cars or electric vehicles? What is the need of the hour? Why we are discussing about electric bike design challenge or electrical vehicle design challenge? Because electrical vehicles, as we know, they have a huge social impacts or social benefits. Electrical vehicles include security benefits, better air quality, environmental aspect, health, personal applications, domestic and economic development, and environmental benefits. So by considering all these benefits and all these applications, today in 21st century, electrical vehicles are the need of the hour. Why we are going for electrical vehicles? What's the need? What's the core theme in electrical design challenge? What are all the benefits? First thing, electrical vehicles are economical compared to fossil fuels or IC engines. Electrical vehicles have very fewer moving parts as compared to internal combustion engines, which is called ICE, and thus electrical vehicles need less maintenance. So maintenance cost will be reduced as the number of rotating parts or moving parts is minimum. It's huge, it's highly economical. Second one, it's higher efficiency, lower fuel connect cost and lower operational cost makes electrical vehicles economical than internal combustion engines. Second one, improved air quality. Now we are all talking about the air pollution and impact of air pollution. Slowly the diesel engines are vanished and diesel engines are not accepted by the government. But electrical vehicles have no emission as compared to internal combustion engines. Adopting electrical vehicles will help us reducing the local air pollution. Shifting to electrical vehicles will reduce greenhouse gases called GHG emissions that gets emitted from running an IC, internal combustion engine vehicles. Third, electrical vehicles are convenient. Electrical vehicles have no gears, are much easier to drive than internal combustion engines. The lack of combustion and mechanical driven drivetrain makes electrical vehicles much quieter in operation, but in internal combustion engines, the noise is more. Comfortably charge at home. Electrical vehicles can be charged at home itself. Upfront incentives from government to electrical vehicle owners. Slowly, nowadays we can see that the electrical government is ready to give subsidy for electrical vehicle manufacturing or battery manufacturing or hub motor manufacturing. We can get incentive from the government also. Incentive for scrapping internal combustion engine vehicles. Electrical vehicles owners can claim income tax deduction up to 1,50,000 under section 80 EEB. So for the earning members, they can get the income tax rebate also. Reduce dependence of improved fossil fuel for the country. What are the electrical vehicle problems? What are the questions while we are going manufacturing electrical vehicles? Or what are the questions that may arise in everyone's mind? Transport sector is not a major contributor to emissions. Slowly we are all thinking that the heavy vehicles are running on fossil fuels, but how does the electrical vehicle contribute to the automobile sector? Transport sector accounts 23% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Out of 100%, 23% of total global greenhouse gas emissions are contributed by ICE vehicles. A study conducted in New Delhi on vehicle emissions shows that transport sector contributes significantly to particulate matter and nitrous oxide, causing respiratory ailments. Through adoption of electrical vehicle, all these problems can be resolved. So by adopting electrical vehicles, we can reduce the air pollution. Second, electrical vehicles take too long to charge. It takes, when compared to fossil fuels, we are directly going to the petrol bank, we are getting the petrol, the work is done. But while we're thinking about the charging options, while in battery itself, it takes 2 to 3 hours for charging. But time of electrical vehicle charging depends the type of charger adapted for charging. Currently available electrical vehicles across vehicle segments, two-wheeler electrical vehicles are available, three-wheeler commercial vehicles are available, four-wheeler electrical vehicles are available. All can be charged from 0 to 80% in and around 1 to 5 hours from slow or moderate charges. While using fast chargers, electrical vehicles can be charged in less than 1 hour. Electrical vehicles can be charged in less than 1 hour. While we are having our lunch or while we are having our refreshment itself, the electrical vehicles can be get charged and it can go along. Third thing, electrical vehicles are costly. When compared to ordinary IC engines, electrical vehicles are costly. Although electrical vehicles might have higher upfront cost, the total cost of ownership, as a mechanical engineer, we all should think about the various costs involved in the production. Total cost of ownership of electrical vehicles is quite low when compared to maintenance cost, when compared to fuel cost, when compared to running cost. The cost of electrical vehicles is very low. Electrical vehicles have low range. We cannot go high speed. These are the problems, these are the questions that may arise within introduction of high density batteries in electrical vehicles. Note the word high density batteries. The storage capacity of batteries has increased, thus improving the range of electrical vehicles. The average range of electrical two-wheelers currently available in the market is around 84 km per hour per charge, which is sufficient for day-to-day travel within city, and average range of electric cars available in the market is between 150 to 200 km per charge. By completing one charge, we can travel from here to Salem within a single charge. And fourth, electrical vehicles are not safe. This is not true. Electrical vehicles are safe as all electrical vehicles undergo rigorous safety testing. The challenge of fire and explosion risk in batteries is being addressed by most of the electrical vehicle manufacturers with the efficient and intelligent battery management system. While you are designing the electrical vehicles, you should think about the battery management system also. Nowadays, all the R&D departments, those who are working in electrical vehicles, they are working on battery management system. They are taking the safety of the rider, safety of the passengers is a huge concern. The certification agencies, Automotive Research Association of India, ARAI, International Center for Automotive Technology, ICAT, does rigorous testing for overcharge, short circuit, and vibration. While comparing all these safety measures, electrical vehicles are safe. And next one, electrical vehicles have low speed. It's not true. Electrical vehicles are equipped with high-speed powertrains. Therefore, electrical vehicles offer better acceleration and speed. We can get better acceleration and speed in electrical vehicles also. As far as speed is concerned, electrical vehicles available in the Indian market have top speeds depending upon the model selected or opted. Based on the battery capacity, based on the powertrain what we are using, the speed can be increased or selected. Electrical vehicles have high starting torque as compared to internal combustion engine counterparts. Electrical vehicle batteries need to be replaced frequently. Electrical vehicle batteries today have warranty of 3 to 8 years across electrical two-wheeler, three-wheeler, and four-wheeler categories. So the life of the battery, or it can be replaced once in 8 years or 7 years. There are not enough electrical vehicle charging stations. That's a question, that's the problem. But government is pushing deployment of electrical vehicle charging stations by providing capital subsidy through faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric motors vehicle India. FAME, F-A-M-E, stands for Faster Adoption and Manufacturing of Electrical Vehicles in India. Through this scheme, Government of India is motivating the vendors to start electrical vehicle charging points in and around India. Further, government has delicensed the activity of setting up the electrical vehicle charging stations to increase private sector investments and facilitate market adoption. Thus, in coming years, there will be sufficient availability of public charging stations for electrical vehicle owners. So by overcoming all those problems and all those dilemmas, all those questions or all those queries, nowadays electrical vehicles are doing wonders in the market, and R&D department, those who are working in the electrical vehicles, they are doing marvelous in the battery management system, vehicle speed and vehicle performances. So while comparing the electrical vehicle design and problems, electrical vehicles are categorized into three major categories. One is plug-in hybrid electrical vehicles, hybrid electrical vehicles, and electrical vehicles. All these different vehicles can do, or they are going to rule the automobile sector in the upcoming future. So by considering all these things, I think, or the management thinks, or the Mechaton Motors startup thinks that electrical bike design challenge or electrical bike design knowledge is very much needed for the engineering college students. By thinking in that way, Mechaton Motors started an initiative to conduct electrical bike design challenge to the national level electrical bike design challenge. I hope the various participants are participate in this event in and around India. I wish the Mechaton Motors success in this event as well as their future endeavors. Last but not least, I think electricity will create a new world. I feel like the world will change a lot with electricity, and I wonder how it will change. It's scary. I wonder how it will change. It's scary, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I think there are so many things to think, and when it comes to electric cars, there are so many things to think when it comes to electrical cars or electrical vehicles or electrical design. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for your significant speech on electrical vehicles, sir. I request Mr. K.R.N. Manoj, sir, Director Operations at Puma Technovations India Private Limited, to deliver a speech.
Okay. Vanakkam. Kekla. Yes. Having a good day? Yes. It is my honor and privilege to be a part of this event at SRIT. I thank the members, especially Mr. Raghu, and the faculty members behind him for supporting him for this event. Why this event is important today? We are facing many problems, many natural calamities by our own technologies. And this is a new technology that will stop the overcoming of the natural calamities. So this is where the student has to start thinking, start working, and change the environment. So in this cause, I'm here to be a part of this event, and we are here to share our knowledge and our experiences when we crossed all these kind of technological innovations. Why e-vehicle? Varun sir has given n number of points, but to be very frank, எல்லாருக்கும் புரியுற மாதிரி சொல்லணும் அப்படின்னா இப்போ ஏசி ஆஃப் பண்ண இந்த ரூம்ல யாரும் உட்கார முடியாது. The reason is temperature. See, we are in a very serene environment, very beautiful environment. இன்னும் சொல்ல போனால் மலையாளி வாரத்தில் உட்காந்துட்டு இருக்கோம், but we can't sit here without an AC. This is what we have done to our mother earth. இதை ஓவர் கம் பண்ண முடியுமா அப்படின்னா we can't change the nature, but we can support nature to change itself. Stop emitting the gases that catches the greenhouse, that brings the greenhouse effect, that catches the UV rays, converts it into IR rays, increasing global warming. இதெல்லாம் ஸ்டாப் பண்றதுக்கு நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும்னா the major pollution starts from vehicles. முதல்லலாம் ஒரு வீட்டில் ஒரு பைக் இருந்தால் பெரிய விஷயம், அப்புறம் அது ஒரு காராக மாறிச்சு, அப்புறம் வீட்டில் இருக்கிற ஒருத்தருக்கும் ஒரு பைக் ஒரு காராக மாறிச்சு. இன்னைக்கு there are n number of vehicles. See, everywhere is traffic jam, everywhere is polluting. So in order to stop all this, this e-vehicle is mandatory, and I wish all the students who participate here to make this technology a successful thing and get a renowned name in this industry. Wish you all success. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge to us. Now I request Mr. M. Karthi, sir, Business Development Manager at EMF Innovations Private Limited, to deliver a speech.
Good morning to one and all present here. It is my privilege to be part of this event. So, the title பார்த்தம்போதே நாம வந்து ஒரு கிளியர் கட்டான ஐடியா தெரியுது. எல்லாருமே வந்து ஒரு ரைட் ட்ராக்ல தான் இருக்கும். எலக்ட்ரிக் பைக் டிசைன். ஸோ இப்போ எலக்ட்ரிக் பைக்குன்றது வந்து பைக்குன்னு மட்டும் இல்லை, எல்லாத்தோட பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ் வந்து எலக்ட்ரிக் பைக்குன்னு ஒன்றா பைக் மட்டும்தான் இருக்குது. எலக்ட்ரிக் கார், அதுலேருந்து நம்ம வந்து அடுத்தடுத்த நிறையா எக்யூப்மெண்ட்ஸு ஃபுல்லாமே எலக்ட்ரிஃபை ஆக போகுது. இண்டஸ்ட்ரியலில் 4.0ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் 4.0. அதுதான் வந்து நம்ம அடுத்த ஈவெண்ட்டோட மெயின் பர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ். இப்போ எல்லாமே வந்து ஃபுல் கனெக்டடாக இருக்க போகுது சொல்லுங்களா. இப்போ எலக்ட்ரிக் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இப்போ வந்து நம்ம இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் ரெவல்யூஷன் எடுத்துக்கிறோம். இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் ரெவல்யூஷன் வந்து முன்னாடி இருந்த ஒரு 1950s இருந்துச்சு. இப்போ அடுத்து வந்து இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் ரெவல்யூஷன் 4.0. ஸோ இந்த இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் ரெவல்யூஷன் 4.0ல என்னென்ன இருக்க போகுதுன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃபுல்லாகவே எலக்ட்ரிஃபிகேஷன். இப்போ அந்த எலக்ட்ரிஃபிகேஷன் ரிலேட்டடாக எடுத்துட்டோம்னா இப்போ நம்ம எலக்ட்ரிஃபிகேஷனில் வந்து ஒவ்வொரு காம்பனண்ட்டாக பிரிச்சோன்னா இப்போ மோட்டார்ஸ் வந்து ஒரு as a part of வந்து ஒரு இட் இஸ் த மஸ்ட். நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து மோட்டார்ஸ் இல்லாமல் வந்து ஒரு பார்ட்டுமே வந்து நம்ம வந்து ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியாது. ஸோ அந்த லெவலுக்கு தான் வந்து இருக்க போகுது சரிங்களா. இப்போ வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் சாரி ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு சின்ன பேனிக் ஆகிட்டேன், யாரும் தப்பாக எடுத்துக்காதீங்க. இதுதான் என்னோட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டேஜ் டாக். இதுக்கு முன்னாடி நான் காலேஜ்லேருந்தே இருந்திருக்கு, இதுக்கு முன்னாடி நான் ஸ்டேஜ் டாக் பண்ணதே கிடையாது சரிங்களா. சாரி ஃபார் த இன்கன்வீனியன்ஸ் காஸ். நான் அந்த லாஸ்ட் ரோல லாஸ்ட்டாக உட்காந்துருப்பேன் பார்த்தீங்களா, அந்த மாதிரி இருந்து வந்த பர்சன் தான் சரிங்களா. அதனாலதான் ஒரு சின்ன பேனிக். டோன்ட் மிஸ்டேக் மீ. அந்த இதுலேருந்து நீங்க வந்திருக்கன்ற போது நம்மளோட ஒரு ஹார்ட் ஒர்க்ஸும் நம்மளோட ஒரு பர்சீவரன்ஸும் அந்த ரீசன் தான் மெயின். அங்கிருந்து இங்க டைரக்டா வர்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி நான் வந்து பேரலா நிறைய ஒர்க் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். ஒர்க் மீன்ஸ் நான் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் ரிலேட்டடா ஒர்க் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். வேற இந்த ஸ்டேஜ் ரிலேட்டடா வரும்போது இது வந்து நமக்கு வந்து எல்லாமே வந்து ஒரு புது ஈவெண்டா இருக்கு. ஸோ அது வந்து ஒரு ஃபர்ஸ்டா ஒரு சான்ஸ் கிடைக்கும் போது ஒரு சின்ன பேனிக், அந்த பேனிக் எல்லாம் நம்ம ஓவர் கம் பண்ணி நம்ம அடுத்த லெவலுக்கு வரோம் அப்படின்ற போதுதான் நம்மளோட ஒரு நம்மளும் க்ரோவோம். அட் த சேம் டைம் நம்ம வந்து ஒரு கான்ட்ரிபியூஷனுமே வந்து நிறைய கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் நிறைய கொடுத்து வரும்போது தான் நம்ம வந்து ஒரு லெவலுக்கு வர முடியும் சரிங்களா. இப்போ எலக்ட்ரிக் பைக்குன்னு வந்து எலக்ட்ரிக் பைக் அப்படின்னு நான் ஆல்ரெடி இந்த ரகுன்னு சொல்லி ஒருத்தர்கிட்ட கேட்டேன், மெக்கட்ரான் மோட்டார்ஸ். அவர் தான் ஃபுல்லாக எனக்கு கோஆர்டினேஷனு எல்லாமே வந்து ஃப்ரம் தி ஸ்டார்டிங்ல இருந்து எண்ட் வரைக்கும் இப்போ இங்கே ரீச் ஆகிற வரைக்கும் ஃபுல்லாக கோஆர்டினேட் பண்ண. அவரோட கோஆர்டினேஷன் வந்து வெல் அண்ட் குட், சூப்பராக இருந்துச்சு சரிங்க. அவரோட ஏன்னா அவரோட ஒவ்வொரு அப்ரோச்சுமே வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இனிஷியல் இருந்து எப்படி ஸ்டார்டிங்ல இருந்து என்னென்ன தேவை அப்படின்றத வந்து நம்ம அங்கே கோஆர்டினேட் பண்ணி இங்கே காலேஜ்லயும் கோஆர்டினேட் பண்ணி ஒரு ஃபுல் ஸ்டேஜுக்கு கொண்டு வந்த வந்து மெக்கட்ரான் மோட்டார்ஸ்க்கு ஒரு ஹார்ட்லி விஷஸ் அண்ட் கங்க்ராச்சுலேஷன்ஸ் டு தம் ஓகேங்களா. இப்போ அதே மாதிரி வந்து நிறைய பைக் டிசைன் பண்ணியிருக்கேன் அப்படின்னு இருக்காங்க. இந்த பைக் டிசைனோட ஈவெண்ட்டுக்கும் எங்களோட டீம்ல இருந்து ஜூரி இருப்பாங்க சரிங்களா. அவங்களோட டிசைன்ஸை ஆல்ரெடி வேலிடேட் பண்றதுக்கு உண்டான டீம் எங்க சைடு இருக்காங்க ஓகேங்களா. இப்போ ஆல்ரெடி மிஸ்டர் வருண் சார் வந்து நம்ம இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவே வந்து ஒரு கிளியரா வந்து ஒரு குட் ஸ்பீச் கொடுத்தாரு. இப்போ நம்ம என்னென்ன இருக்குன்ற பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவரோட ஸ்பீச்லேயே வந்து ஆல்மோஸ்ட் எல்லாமே கவர் பண்ணிட்டார். ஏஆர்ஐ அப்ரூவல் கவர் பண்ணிட்டார், ஐகேட் கவர் பண்ணிட்டாரு, ஃபேம் கவர் பண்ணிட்டாரு. அது எல்லாமே அவரோட ஸ்பீச் வந்து வெரி சூப்பர் ஸ்பீச் சரிங்களா. இப்போ இந்த ஈவெண்ட் வந்து ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு சக்சஸ்ஃபுல் ஈவெண்டா வரக்கும் மை ஹார்ட்லி விஷஸ் டு தம். ஓகே.
Thank you, sir, for your aspiring speech. Now I request Mr. Seduraj, sir, from EMF Innovations Private Limited to deliver guest speech.
Vanakkam. Good morning, and I thank the management as well as the organizers for providing us this opportunity to present our thoughts in front of this audience. Today, Arun sir has talked about how the electrification is changing the world, and my colleague Karthi, he has said how the Industrial Revolution 4 is happening. So, I'm a mechanical engineer, and I have about 18 plus years of experience in heavy industry and nearly a decade of experience in EV industry. So, one of the doubts or one of the concerns that would come to the academia is, what is the future for mechanical engineering if everything is going to be electric? But then, what has to be thought of is, previously we came from an era of steam engines to fossil fuel powered vehicles or to industrial machinery, and then it has transitioned from the what we call as fossil fuel or the petrol and diesel and gas vehicles as we in our terminology we call it as native vehicles, and the new vehicles are, the new energy vehicles are electric vehicles. So these being powered, by the electricity has to be produced from somewhere. So one of the concerns that I see in many forums is, see, you guys are producing electricity from coal-fired power plants. Then how can you call it as a clean source of energy? But then it is not just renewables, and the engineering side of whatever we have developed so far in terms of maybe the liquid powered engines, they will have a gradual decline. But then we are seeing a gradual increase in power generation through gas turbines or gas powered or the natural gas and LNG based fossil systems. So these are more clean sources of energy when compared to burning coal or heavy oil, or what you call as LSHS in certain power stations. So, so what I'm trying to say is, mechanical engineers as such, we need to focus on gas-powered technology for the combustion engines and hydrogen-powered based engines for electricity generation. And mechanical engineers need not be restricted to just internal combustion engines, because as part of your course curriculum, you will be studying about electric drives. I think in 1 or 2 papers are in terms of electrical drives. That needs to be focused. And anyway, you guys are also learning papers on electrical as well as electronics. And similarly, the students who are in computer science, electrical and electronics as well as communication, they also are studying certain papers in mechanical technology. So you should widen your horizons and have more interest in all these branches of engineering, and not consider as, I will take only a certain path, so I will go only in this way. But you need to have a wider approach. That is one thought that I would like to share with you. And then again, regarding the current situation of electric vehicles in our country, if we see, can anyone tell where the aviation industry first started? Anyone? Has anyone heard about Bharadwaja Muni? He is the founder of avionics. And this technology originated in India thousands of years ago. You would have studied about or learned in Ramayana, right? There is this Pushpaga Vimana. So it is considered as a myth. But then myths are what is like certain times, certain incidents, after a period of time, it becomes legends. And then legends become myth. And over a period of millions of years, these are in a distant past, and people will think these things did not occur. So there was a glorious future when the rishis in India, they were in the forefront of technology. And over the period of many millions of years, or thousands of years, let's say, we have lost that leadership in the world. Now, we need to bring back the leadership to India, and the future is in the hands of youngsters like you. So, today, our people are working in NASA, European Space Agency, CERN. If you take any premier institution in the world, you will find Indians. So, electric vehicles as such, if you see, it started in 18th century. The first vehicles were there from the time of Edison. But then, the reason why it did not take up in that time was because the battery technology was not so great. And then at that point of time, fossil fuels were considered, or the diesel or petrol, it was a very dirty fuel. And the first Ford Model T vehicles, they were very difficult to start. You had to hand crank it. And it was not popular. At that point in time, electric vehicles were very popular. But they were used only for a short distance inside the city. Then there was this invention of electric starter. That made a very, let's say, very exponential change in the perspective of using motor vehicles. That propelled the motor vehicles to a very popular stage. And from that stage onwards, from around 1910, 1875 to 1935, in that period, the petrol and diesel engine powered vehicles, they had a huge leap. Then only during the 1980s, during the oil and gas, there was this Gulf Wars. At that time, there was a huge increase in price of petrol and other fuels. That led to a little bit of renovation, interest in electric vehicles. And now, at this point of time, it is a climate change that is driving this change. And right now, we have higher density battery chemistries. Like there are lithium batteries, sodium batteries. Then other than one of the concerns that is being raised right now is the ranges, there is a range anxiety issue. And electric vehicles are not a very popular choice for heavy vehicles. We are seeing electric buses, city buses nowadays, you have 2-3 manufacturers doing electric buses also and trucks also. But then you see a range of only 200-250 kilometers. But then the technology right now is available, clean alternative is also there. Combined electric with what we call as a range extender using gas powered or a gas turbine based, there are range extenders which use either a methane source or a hydrogen source or a LNG also. And so what I want to say is the technology is not going to be obsolete in terms of certain mechanical technologies, but then there is going to be a gradual shift, and this shift is going to happen in the next 10 to 15 years. So in next 15 years, you will say that we cannot say that everything will be changed to electric, but then more than 50, what our estimates are, more than 50% of the vehicles that will be, new vehicles that will be coming, that would be electric. And the previous vehicles would go out of fashion, just as the steam engines went out of fashion when the diesel and petrol vehicles came, because they were more difficult to service and less efficient. The user experience as well as the performance of the electric vehicles are going to drive the technology forward. And I want to share this thought that as engineering students, you should be focusing on certain specific topics if you want to ride this wave of new electric technology. Like in terms of embedded systems, you need to focus more. And there should be a focus on electrochemistry also. You will be studying a paper on engineering chemistry in your first and second semesters. And you should not take it that this is a waste paper or something. But you should focus on electrochemistry is one aspect, embedded systems. Then you need to focus on power electronics. Then programming in terms of Python for user interfaces, as well as there is going to be machine learning and AI when you are going to do fleet management for large vehicle fleets. So these are certain topics that the industry is looking for from the academia. And with this, I would like to thank the management for giving us an opportunity to be attending this event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughtful speech to us. Now I request Dr. D. Binu ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks.
On behalf of management of SNR Sons and Charitable Trust and Sri Ramakrishna Institute of Technology, Coimbatore, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks to the event on a national level electric bike design challenge 2022 season 1, organized by Department of Mechanical Engineering and Megatron Motors. First, I express my sincere gratitude to the Lord Almighty to make this event a successful one. I thank our chief guest, Mr. K.R.M. Manoj, Director Operations, Puma Technovation India Private Limited, Coimbatore, and Mr. Seiduraj and Mr. Karthi from EMF Innovation Private Limited, Coimbatore, for sharing their knowledge and their presence. I thank our principal, Dr. M. Paulraj sir, for providing immense support to make this event success. A special thanks to our mechanical HOD, Dr. Sokalingam sir, and all other HODs, teaching and non-teaching staff members for their coordination and support. My sincere thanks to all the team members from the various institutions all over the country for their active participation. I thank all the members of organizing team, especially Veerakumar sir, Raghu, Bignesh Ram, and other volunteers for working hard for the past few days to make this event a grand success. Last but not the least, I thank our design partner, Puma Innovations India Private Limited, knowledge partner, AIC Race Incubation Center, digital marketing partner, Euric Media, industrial partners, EMF Innovations, and Talk Park Control for their financial and technical support. Thank you everyone once again for making this event a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I call upon the faculty coordinators, Binu ma'am, Veerakumar sir, Veera Manikantan sir, and student coordinators Raghu, Vignesh Ram, and Kabilan to the stage.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
students are given the best of training right from their first year.
I'm here to design.
SRIT has a theory. Give the students the best and they will do the rest. SRIT provides the students with state-of-the-art facilities and laboratories to render technological support for their education and to fuel their dream.
I'm here to develop.
I'm here to build. I'm here to transform.
I'm here to power.
I'm here to apply.
I'm here to lead.
When it comes to giving our students the finest, we deliver. SRIT prides itself on its Wi-Fi enabled campus. We have 157 dedicated staff who aid our students in all their endeavors, in smart classrooms for smart students.
I am here to share my knowledge.
I am here to discover.
Sportsmanship is obligatory not only on the field, but also in corporate boardrooms. SRIT cultivates that spirit in students by urging them to train their body along with their mind. Here in SRIT, students find their second home. We have separate hostel accommodations for boys and girls with facilities catering to their everyday needs. We also provide residential quarters for our staff to help them make a better work-life balance. Our canteen facility helps students refresh themselves after an eventful day. With more than 10 college buses, SRIT has a large transportation facility that connects every part of the city. SRIT is always prepared. We have an ambulance facility for SRI teams in case of emergency. So now that you know about us, what are you waiting for? Come join us at Sri Ramakrishna Institute of Technology.
SRIT taught me the value of focused hard work, from being the best outgoing student of my batch, to working as an assistant manager in an MNC, to where I am now at the prestigious IIM. None of these would have been possible but for SRIT. SRIT rocks.
introduction about me, but the most important thing is I am a mechanical design engineer, an automobile design engineer from the last bench, from a very small college, from a very small town called Dharmapuri. But my thoughts, my ideas, my knowledge, the expressions that I had were very huge. I wanted to be a design engineer, an automobile design engineer. I want to control the automobiles. Chennai, Tamil Nadu, we are the hub of automobile production. Okay, we have all our R&Ds at Nashik, Pune and Maharashtra. Why? Do we have any R&Ds in Tamil Nadu? Automobile R&Ds? Yes or no? Yes. Which company? Sorry? Okay, then. Renault Nissan, Mahindra, they have R&Ds in Chennai. And when you go for foreign cars like Benz or Audi, they have their R&D centers at Bangalore. Why do they have to set up their R&D facility in another country? In my country, I can take their technology right away, right? I have the right because it is being manufactured in my country. It is being developed in my country. I can take it from them in a right away. This is not a false. Why do they have to set up? Because the technology which they possess is being developed by an engineer who is an Indian. So the motto of this workshop is to make you people an Indian who develop such a product which goes globally. You know, the word workshop, what does it mean? On the shop floor, you work something. Am I right? But are you people working? It's a very cool air, cozy seats, had refreshment, no one to question you or monitor you, enjoying the life. Am I right? Am I right or not? Physically, this is right. But mentally, start working, start thinking. I'll tell you a story, how a product gets developed, how design is impacting the product, and how this product overcomes all the hurdles and goes into the market. You might have heard stories about Tata Nano, but this is something different. You have an idea. From where does the idea come? Or product develop பண்ணனும் அந்த ஐடியா எங்க இருந்து வரும் எப்படி வரும் someone tell me or should I point out yellow shirt you tell me from where did you get the idea you need not stand I just need your voice no idea any idea yes exactly your name please loudly yes when you see a disadvantage in a product existing product you need to upgrade the product you get an idea how many defects we have how many defaults we have how many disadvantages we have in our day to day life there are many right n number of hurdles we are crossing every day so being a mechanical engineer or being an engineer how can you develop all this can you one person change the world yes or no can one person change the world can one engineer change the world impossible right a team of engineers n number of team of engineers I want you to be one team in that from SRIT why because you know when I was studying my college doesn't have enough lab facilities to provide the requirements what I possessed I was doing a project in capacity planning for a 6x6 truck my college didn't have the facility they had one facility very super facility what you know whenever I require OD they provide sign yes get lost but that was the beautiful thing that happened in my life believe me friends whenever you get OD utilize the OD whenever you go to a company utilize the company what happens is I done my project to a Russian company Kamas Vectra Motors but today in this scenario I should not be talking about Russia But still, this is the major company that supports the army of the Russia. Like Tata Motors in our company, in our country. My project was successfully done there from a very small town, from a very small village. The project is being sent to Russia. It was getting acknowledged. And yes, it was made into a product. This is how ideas get transformed. It is not like where you come from, where you study, what is your CGPA. It is all secondary. What makes primary is your idea. The fearlessness, the fierceness of the mechanical engineers. You know why mechanical engineers are always top of the world? You may think, sir, IIT people are getting lakhs and lakhs of salary. EC engineers are getting lakhs and lakhs of salary. But no, mechanical engineers are the top of the world. Can anyone say why? They are not? Mechanical engineers or others? Yes. See, you might have heard about carbon, right? Carbon. When you get aged, the carbon transforms into diamond. I tell mechanical engineers to be a carbon. When you come out of your college as a fresher engineer, you are a carbon. When you get aged, you transform into diamond. See, in your era, you see the transformation of a very great legend, Mr. Tata. He started his career. Yes, his father gave him a company, but still, how was the company? We were struggling to make cars for Indians. We didn't have any technology. But today, we are ruling the world. We are ruling the automobile world. By one person, by one engineer. So when you transform your ideas into a conceptual design, and from that conceptual design you develop a prototype, and from that prototype you launch the product. Fine. The product which I used to tell you, my product, a connecting rod. See, I had an idea. What idea it was like, when I used to travel in buses, the crankshaft will get failure, or the liner will get cracked. You know what will happen? The vehicle will not run after that. They will say that there is a breakdown. When you go to TNSTC, you see n number of buses with liner crackdown, especially Hino engines of Ashok Leyland. You know, Cummins and Hino are the neck-to-neck competitors in manufacturing engines, right from the olden days to till now. But you know the liners will get cracked. I was thinking, why it is getting cracked? Okay. Do I know the answer? I don't know. I'm going asking my HODs and my staff people. Do they know the answers? No. Where will I get the answers? The person who is involved in that particular repair work knows the answers. Am I right? So I started approaching them. I started approaching TNSTC. I asked for a 15 days in-plant training. Luckily, after 6 months, I got the chance. And I was sitting with the person. He will not tell me anything for the first few days. I will go sit with him. He will just change. He will do his work. And after a few days, I never pestered him. Because you know what happens? If you go and pester someone, they will give you just the gist. What is your question? This is the answer. Get lost. Don't disturb me. But when you don't disturb them and you start supporting them, they used to teach you fully. This is a life lesson. So what I did was, I was sitting with him patiently. I used to observe what he does. On second day, I used to help him with his tools. On third day, I used to help him with his work. And gradually we started a relationship where he gave me the knowledge. You know, the reason was, yes, gaining knowledge, sharing knowledge. What he told me was like, the crankshaft is getting imbalanced, and which cylinder gets overpressured, gets a liner crack. Okay, I was then again thinking about what is this imbalance? I understand there is something not in balance, but what is that imbalance? I don't know. Again, started approaching him, but he is only that much techie, so he knows only that much. So again, started researching for this. What is imbalance? So again, what do you know? I started seeing a number of videos and a number of books of assembling an engine. How an engine is assembled, how an IC engine is getting assembled. What are the process followed in it? What are the do's and don'ts? See, always concentrate on the don'ts. That gives the pathway for new product. I was concentrating on don'ts. You know what happened? They told me that the connecting rod which is to be assembled has to be oiled before assembling and has to be put in such a way that all the connecting rods should be in one weight grade. Okay, what is this weight grade again? A technical term. Started searching in books. Finally, I got this term from an automobile author book that there should be only 50 to 100 grams of weight difference between all the connecting rods. See, it's a forged component. Okay, it is not a market-made ready component that to buy it in the same weight. It is a forged component, so we can't fix the weight of a forged component. There will be variation, and that variation is 100 grams. Okay, I again went back to the person, asked him, what is the change in these weights? He physically showed me what is the weight difference. Okay, there is a weight difference, so that we get liner cracked. Okay. What happens if we reduce this difference? See, 100 grams is a very big difference, right? I'm giving you 1 gram of gold. Instead, you give me 100 gram of gold. Very big difference. So I started thinking of reducing this thing. Okay. For this, I again need to go into another research. I don't know about forging. You all crossed manufacturing technology 1 and 2. Am I right? Can you forge a component? Tell how this component to be forged. I was in the same place. I went to a company called Forging in Bangalore, approached them for an internship, learned forging process from them when I was in my 3rd year. They gave me a detailed training. Like, first day I was put in mission. You know, when we work with hot metals, the heat transfer from the hot metal to our body will be very high. You know, always the forging shop will be in how it is manufactured. Am I right? You need to know the manufacturing technology of the component in order to re-engineer or reverse engineer the component. So again, I wrote a letter. You know, in that days, getting an internet was very tough. We used to get 5 rupees internet for Aircel, 50 MB. Before opening Google Page, that 50 MB will go off. I'll have to wait at least for hours. Companies that bring revenue to India and employability to India by mechanical processes. This Kalyani Forge is the Asia's largest forging plant. They are supplying camshafts, connecting rods, crankshafts to all the companies in European. Be it Audi or be it Benz, BMW, they all get their crankshafts forged in India from Kalyani Forge. They have their own steel plant, they have their own forge plant. Asia's largest plant. You know, a letter from a very small student, from a very unknown place of a city in Tamil Nadu will get acknowledged. Do you think so? 3 times I was rejected. There was no response at all. Took a letter from my principal, I directly went to the company. I have done this much researches. I have given a project report. Yeah, I told you, I'm doing I'm settling reports. I've taken a copy, submitted them. For this process, I need to know how connecting rod is made. I need an opportunity. They gave me 3 days time. 3 days time in plant 1. I should not step out of plant 1. This was the condition. Because plant 1 was the area where they make connecting rods. Yes, okay, I went there. Again, same forger component with mission plant. Again, when it comes to missions, CNCs. Manufacturing Technology 2, Chapter 5, am I right? NC codes. How many of us know NC codes? What is the code for owning the mission, switching on the mission? Stopping the mission? This is why, because once you study the subject and clear the subject, you don't look at it. Am I right? Once you stop eating, you forget what it does back to you. Once you regularize it, it gives benefits after that. So you always look after the benefits. Don't look at what you're doing. Similarly, I don't know what is CNC machine. Since we are all same, right? The operator was very tough because they were all Hindi people, Hindi bias. I don't know Hindi and they can't speak English. Communication was very much a big different. But still, I managed to understand something, took notes. After 3 days, I was sent out. With a very small certificate, I was sent out. Again, started making a report on it. Now I have an idea. I wanted 3 technologies to learn. I learnt it. Now I'm ready for making my own technology. Am I right or not? Yes or no? Yes, I was ready. When? At the final semester of my final year. Will I look after this project or will I look after my project? Which is priority? My project was priority. Because then only I can finish my college and I can step out as an engineer. So I was concentrating on that. All these are kept in a locker, locked. No thoughts about it. Again, when did it rise? I told you, my final year project was for Commerce Vector Motors. They offered me a job. We acknowledge your participation in the project. We offer you a job. I have not done interviews in my life, my dear friends. My dear brothers, listen very carefully. I was passed out in 2013. Till now, I have not faced even one single interview. But I have interviewed more than 5,000 people in my career. This is what life stands for you. When you are ready to run, when you are ready to be a leader, you can run, you can show the directions to the others. If I can do that, with all such infrastructures, you can do even more magical things. So my first job was from Commerce Vector Motors based upon my project. A direct offer letter. I finished my college abroad. I'm getting handfuls of money of salary. This is what we all think, right? I was getting that. I was posted in government at Maldives, at MTCC, a maintenance engineer for Caterpillar articulated trucks. You know what is an articulated truck? It is a mining truck actually. The wheel is this much big. I'm only this much. The wheel is this much big. And for that truck, I have to be a maintenance engineer. Yes, the project which I did is entirely different from the work they provided me. But still, took it up as a challenge. Worked there for 2.5 years. Came back. After coming back only, opening this locker. Which locker? Connecting rod locker. It is still kept safe. And you know what now? I know the technology. I know how connecting rod is made. I know what is forging. I know how to design a product. At last, I know how to maintain the product. From these 2.5 years of experience, I know how to maintain the product. The chemical reactions between the engine oil and the components present inside the engine is what most required for me. Got that also. God's grace. Now started designing. Okay. When you come to design, which area to concentrate? Because, when I came back from Maldives, my idea was like, why foreign? What doesn't my country provide to me? What if I earn here itself? These 3 questions. But when you come back, what will happen? That was a different sector. And I am here in India as a new boy. They used to see me as a fresher. No industry was ready to take me even after seeing my projects. Approached all MNCs, all top level MNCs. You know what happened? One person named Karthik. Actually, it's Karthikeyan. I used to call him Karthik. From TVS Sundaram Fastness. He got my resume, got this project. He went through all these things. He openly told me that, Manoj, you don't have a job here. You don't have a job here. But I can support you for a job because you are jobless now. I'll support you for a job. He referred me to Mr. Kadir, the director of Kadir College of Institution, the son of ex-minister Sengotayan. And from there I got a job. And from there I again came to SS Technovation. SS Technovation was the place where I developed this component. So it is being manufactured in their name. You know how this got developed? How a product gets developed. It is not designing with SolidWorks, Creo, CATIA. These are just tools. Anybody can work with SolidWorks or CATIA. We don't require engineers to work with SolidWorks and CATIA. Keep this in mind. If you study SolidWorks or CATIA, it doesn't mean you are a design engineer. You are a modeling engineer. What design means? Design of machine elements. Have you studied? Yes? I will not ask questions, don't worry, because I too don't know. I want to know only have you studied or not. You've gone through it, okay. What you studied? You studied some formulas, some theories, some theorems. If you want to develop a product, first develop it in a practical way, in a theoretical way, with numbers and alphabets. When final result is okay, then you go for design. For example, I still remember designing of leaf spring. Am I right? Designing of leaf spring. They'll give you some load based upon the formulas and structures. You will have to design a leaf spring. It is not designing means drawing. It is giving the outputs in the values. These values are called as dimensions. These dimensions are transferred into 3D. For that transformation, we require software. That is where SolidWorks, Creo, CATIA, n number of softwares are available in the market. Even in that softwares, there are two classifications. Nobody will tell you. Because you know what? I own a training institute. In order to make profit, what I will do is, I will ask you to study all the softwares. It is useful for me, but 100% not useful for you. What you will have to do is, you will have to understand PLM concept. Product Life Cycle Management concept. A product, how it is getting emerged from the raw material stage to the endpoint customer side. How it is being utilized. How it is getting transformed. So there are two softwares as PLM softwares. It is CATIA and UGS. Unigraphics or NX. These two are PLM softwares. Why you need to know about PLM softwares is, it is used only in R&Ds. It is used only in R&Ds. As we talked earlier, there are only very feeble R&Ds in our country, in our city. So the employability scale will be very higher. How VAT person studied? He studied from the industry. How a SRM person studied? He studied on his own. Which makes value? Which makes value? Studies on? Okay. Any other answers? Study from industries. Okay. Any other answers? Studying from laboratories. Either from internal college or external. Because we don't have much facilities in our college, so we used to go to neighbor colleges. Even for my research, I have been coming to Karunya for utilizing their lab facilities. Which will answer what the company expects. All these three. And get rectified or tuned by an industry. So think properly, and lack of interest, I could say. Today you had an idea, you came for a workshop, it is based on e-vehicle. How many e-vehicle companies have you approached for rectifying or correcting your designs? They are answering or not answering, that is secondary. But have you approached or not? You had an opportunity to approach, right? See, there is one good electric vehicle company in Coimbatore. It's a Coimbatore-based company. I know for pretty sure by 2016 end, November 16, I guess, I started again working on my Conrad project. I used to know that in very few years, we'll get electric cars. Can I get electric buses? Can I get electric trucks? Can I get electric tractors with high torque? At present stage, it is impossible. Am I right? At present stage, it is impossible. So I started developing Conrads for heavy engines. At least minimum 2.5 kg. That was my motto. My Conrad should weigh at least 2.5 kgs. So it is only for heavy trucks. So you know what happens? For next 50 years, my business will not get affected. My technology will not get faded away. If I did it for a car, what you will do? You will ask EMF Innovations to remove my engine and you will ask them to put a car. That is what they are doing, right? Can I do it for my truck? Can I do it for my tractor? Impossible. So at least for next 50 years, I will be on the market and my product will be on the market. This is what the basic research does. When you go for a basic ground research, you will get all such details. Okay, this is done. Now, everything is ready. I am ready. My technology is ready. My design is ready. I have submitted my design patent to RI. They said, okay, this is feasible. You can do it. But submit as the prototype model. You know, in automobiles, we will not submit prototype model in clay or 3D printing thing. Because these are internal components which work, which actually get trusted, get pressured, get heated. So they need a real component. You know, developing utilized only 1 hour. If there is anything else to tell me now. If my answer is a no, then you lose this 1 hour. I was just standing very blank. If he had uttered any 2 or 3 more words, I would have cried. I don't have anything. I had technology, I have explained him my process. Everything is done. All these 4 years of research, it was done in 1 hour. You know what he said? Take this token, go have food, come back again. For the again, this 1 hour is there, no? Take food, come back again. That is a very good approach that TVS Sundaram Fasteners provide food for all the employees. You know, for the cost, 1 rupee per day. They provide you 2 refreshments, 1 packet of biscuit, and 3 times of meals. For 1 rupee. Even today. I think today it is 5 rupees or something. But in that days it was 1 rupee. We had food. I don't know what else to talk. My partner was dumbstruck. We had a very big opportunity. We missed it. We were all negative. 100% negative. You know what happened? JDM of TVS. A girl, a lady. The daughter of Sundaram Iyengar. Congrats for onboarding with TVS SFL. Congrats for onboarding with TVS SFL. I provide you money. I provide you place. I provide you support. Start manufacturing, nothing else. Whatever you need, you tell me, I'll get you. Start manufacturing immediately. What will you do in such a place? I was full of negative. I was getting ready for coming back. The meeting was held at Chennai, Padi. I was on the edge of coming back. But he used to tell me this. Crores capex was approved. They provide their own land. They provide their own setup with all their technical persons supporting me in this cause. That is where, by 2017, February 18th, we started erectioning of machines as per my plan. You know what? Morning sir told Industry 4.0. What is Industry 4.0? For example, today, now at this present time, who is there in mechanical first year or second year classroom? Which staff? How many people are present? If we want to know the data, what we will do? I'll have to go physically and see. Or I have to call someone and ask. Am I right? Standing here, in my mission number 4, which operator is working, what is the output, what is the problem got in the mission, can be seen by my computer. It is a fully automated workshop. You might have seen welding shops, painting shops automated. My idea was to make production automated. It was made. Asia's first fully automated workshop with collaboration with, of TVS Sundaram Fasteners. We started production. At the 4th month, we started production. And you know now, we are supplying 1 lakh contracts, minimum per month, 1 lakh contracts. See, the idea where I started from my 3rd year has grown to 1 lakh. You know what is my next idea? Taking this worldwide. I'm talking with Piaggio Motors for supplying my contract. Because already I'm supplying it to US. I want to enter into France industry. You know, a very simple reason. I want to visit Eiffel Tower. If I get an opportunity there, they used to give me visa. Business, let it come or go, but I will visit Eiffel Tower. This is how a product is getting developed. This is not only Manoj can do. If this idea is deeply rooted inside you, even you can do it. Now, as I told you, I'm a mechanical design engineer, right? You take me to your lab, give me SolidWorks or Creo, ask me to design something, I will struggle. It has been ages I touched computers and softwares. I work with papers only. I give it to my design team and they work. And you know the work culture of R&D, in my R&D. You all have an ID card, right? Can you come inside college with your ID card? Yes. Can you go inside class with your ID card? Yes. Can you get attendance with your ID card? Yes. But without ID card, my employees cannot enter into my R&D. Because you know what? They can't take the laptop to home. It is company owned property. Without ID card, they can't get access. Without getting access, they can't switch on their laptop. The key to switch on the laptop is your ID card. Remove from your neck, insert it, the laptop will start. You know what? Artificial intelligence and Industry 4.0 plays a very major role in my R&D. I will not tell what has to be done today. Once you open your screen, you will have a notepad. It will have works. What are the work today has to be done. Once you complete all this, your exit card will get exited. Once you get exited, you can go home. Once you get exited, you can go home. 8 hours of work, minimum 8 hours of work. If you complete it in 4 hours, go home. You get paid fully. But if you don't complete it in 8 hours, that is the major game. Wait till the work gets completed. So you know what my people will do? They'll come, finish work in 1 or 2 hours, they'll go back. Seriously, this is the work culture in my R&D. I have 30 people, all elderly people to me, working under me, just because I developed this technology. They're getting paid well. You know, it is in 6 digits. But the work culture they have, if someone is sick, they can't go out. They have a paramedical team inside. They have a cafeteria down. And I'm planning to make, okay, I'll do one thing. In next workshop or in some other event, I'll show you how my conduct is manufactured. Nobody can replicate it. Nobody can replicate it. Even if I teach you, you can't do it. I'll tell you what. I'll teach you now. You just give a try. Breaking of chalk piece, easy or not? Easy. Breaking of a cardboard, breaking of a wooden rod, bit tough, but can be broken. Breaking of an iron rod, very more tough. Breaking of an iron rod that is what I do. If you have studied this kinematics of machinery, you might have studied about the line of action, line of force, taking this force in a path, guiding it in a path to exit from the product. All these were my key points. All these were the major area in my component. You know, we all go to temple, right? We break coconuts, at least in a home. Am I right? Are we breaking it in an even line or uneven lines? Even lines, uneven lines. Can you make it even or not? If you go to temple, you see him, how he breaks it. He will break it in an even line. He will try to break it in an even line. You know why? If he breaks in even line, you pay him more. When he comes back with the fire, you pay him more. Because that is an auspicious thing. What he does is, he gives the path for the force that he gives at the final. He'll have 3 or 4 strokes. He will not break in 1 stroke. 3 or 4 strokes. He will give 3 points in which his force has to be traveling. And the final force will be very higher than the previous forces. That force will travel through the 3 points and it will break it evenly. Is it possible or not? Go home and try with the coconut today. This is what I do with metal. I'll give a force of action line. I'll give force and my force will exit through that line. It gets breaks. So it's a circular component. I'll elongate it and break, but there will not be elongated forces given to the component. It will be again a circle. Once you close it, again it will be a circle. This is the key area which made my component success. Why success? I'll tell you one thing. Go to classroom, take a chalk piece, break it, keep it again, compress it. You can't identify where you broke it. You get it? Break it, keep it, compress it. You can't identify where you broke it. Instead, take a knife, cut a chalk, keep it, compress it. You will exactly know where you cut it. The surface contact area between the 2 components gets very less when you fracture it. But when you cut it or machine it, you cannot achieve the closeness. There are only 2 types of conrod. Okay. One is split rod and another is fracture rod. This fracture rod is my technology and split rod is what being used in olden days. Even still many companies, for the smaller vehicles, we use that technology. The surface contact I get in my conrod is 97% minimum. We used to see blue contact thing. You know what is blue contact? What happens when you pass IR rays on blue color? Infrared rays on blue color, what happens? Any ideas? What is the color of IR ray? In which bandwidth it comes? In which GR? Again you go to physics. We studied this in physics, right? Go to physics. See what happens when IR rays is passed through blue area. What I'll do is, I'll take a blue. I have proved that my conductor will run at least minimum 7 lakh kilometers without any maintenance, without any hassles. The chemical reaction between my conductor and any type of lubricant you use, it is always minimum. You know what? How this is done? Again come to manufacturing technology. Once forged component, it has to get cooled, right? What are the process of cooling? How many types of cooling are there? I studied, but I don't remember the name. Is that so? Quenching, normalizing, annealing. Have heard about these words? Yes, somewhere in the online class when my staff was shouting. But these are the key areas. See, this is very just plain 2 mark. This annealing is just a 2 mark. But this annealing transformed my life. Similarly, when you study, when you go through a technology, that small part of technology can change your life. I use normalized cooling. I don't use quenching, marine quenching or water quenching, any type of quenching. I use normalizing. So if I am forging today, the component will be available for machining after 2 days. It will again come to normal room temperature. I'll take it to MCD. MCD in the sense, have you heard about NDT, non-destructive testing? Yes. I take it for non-destructive testing, check for cracks. Sure, we'll get cracks. It is not that my technology is fully efficient. There is no scrap, 0 ppm, not like that. We will get cracks because we work with machines. We work with 2.5 ton of forge machine. So we used to get crack. Once this is done, it is taken to machine shop. You know what the beauty is? What is the manufacturing time of a Toyota Crista car? Manufacturing time of Toyota Crista car. 15? No? Total manufacturing time of a Toyota Crista car. Again, refined answers. Every 1 minute, 4 cars comes out of the assembly line. Every 1 minute, 4 cars rolls out of the assembly line, which means it is 15 seconds. Is it possible? You can't even start the car with 15 seconds, am I right? Then how this time is kept? How this time is kept? See, I'll tell you how this is done, okay? There are 50 people in this class. I want 50 pages of an essay in 1 minute. Is this possible? No. 1 minute la 50 pages you have to write. Is this possible? No. I'm giving you each one sheet. You write 1 page. Is this possible? Somewhat possible. Make it 100 people. Is it possible? Possible. This is what Toyota does. All the vendors, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 vendors and the original OEM manufacturer, they all work with one single timeline, and that made this possible. Similarly, the product time of the takt time, we used to tell takt time, the total manufacturing process from the raw material to the endpoint customer. The takt time of my component is 14 minutes in a fully automated way. So we have 30 machining operations and 4 quality checks. If possible, if you are lucky enough, I'll take 1 or 2 people to my plant to see how quality check is done automatically. See, I'm sure many of you mechanical engineers are ready to go for quality job, but not for a machinist job. Am I right? Because quality job is a white collar job. I'm going to find fault with someone else. You are not ready to correct the fault, but you are ready to find the fault. Human nature. You know what? There is no line quality or final quality in my line. It is fully automated. The thing is, you may think that there is no job in my line. In my production line, there is no manpower utilized. I too utilize manpower. But which manpower? The one who can control the machines, the one who can control the technology that I put there. So if you want to get employed in a better way, better position, upgrade your technology. Just this B behind your name will not support you. For this development only, for this boosting only, we provide such kind of workshops. So learn something with this kind of workshops. And if there anything you don't know, ask someone. If they don't know, ask someone else. Don't stop asking. If you stop asking, your technology stops there. Nobody will say no. Am I right? Has anybody said no? Any stuff, at least they would refer and tell you. They will ask some time. But they would never said no. You know what? You have not asked question, so they have not given an S. Start asking questions. If not, sir, I am afraid of my staff people. I am literally afraid of my staff people. I will not ask them anything. Whom to ask? As he told you, a brother is standing in front of you. Get in touch with me for any technical queries, not related to mechanical. It is not limited to mechanical. Be it aerospace, be it rocket science, be it civil, structural thing, be it embedded systems, artificial intelligence, and Industry 4.0. Get in touch with me. Drop a mail or visit me personally. You will get your solution within 24 hours. See, from morning I am here today. My phone is still ringing. I don't pick. So I need some time. That time is 24 hours. Just drop me a mail. Drop me a text. Either me or my team will support you technically for your growth. It is all free of cost. So I hope from this workshop there is some ignition inside this engine, and this engine starts running towards making an electric engine. Will it happen? Yes? Will you make this event a big event? This is not for the sake of college. This is for the sake of yourself. As Ampere is today, after 5 years, I would like to see a company from SRITN in Coimbatore. If you want support, see, I didn't grow myself, right? There was someone who poured water on me. As I told you, there are many people in my career. Similarly, you might have someone, and I'll be among that someone. So if there is anything to ask me, let's ask. Or we'll go for lunch. Anything. English தான் பேசணும்னு அவசியம் இல்லை. It was for the audience. நான் தமிழ் மீடியம் தான் படித்தேன். So feel free with the language. Nothing? Yes, ergonomics of electric bike. Ergonomics என்ன? அதிலே பதில் இருக்கு. அது ஏரோடைனமிக்ஸ். கரெக்ட். இல்லை. எதுவுமே இல்லாத மாதிரி வருது. பிரணாப் ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் பைக் தான் முடியாது. So listen, he has asked a question about the ergonomics of an e-bike. Ergonomics அப்படின்றது என்னன்னா, to make it pleasant for the rider based upon the appearance as well as the usage. நீ ராயல் என்ஃபீல்டு நிறைய பேர் வாங்குறதுக்கு ரீசன் என்ன தெரியுமா? அந்த காலத்தில் வாங்கினதுக்கு ரீசன் என்ன தெரியுமா? It was a very huge amount that day. When it was launched at 38,000 something. அன்றைக்கி அது பெரிய மணி. அன்றைக்கி அவங்களாம் எதுக்காக வாங்கினா தெரியுமா? நான் போனாலும் இந்த பைக் என் பேரனுக்கு அவனோட பேரன் வரைக்கும் போகுன்ற நம்பிக்கை இருந்துச்சு. பேசிக் ஆஃப் எர்கானமி அது பார்க்கும் போதே உங்களுக்கு தெரியும். நம்ம இன்னைக்கு வெஹிக்கிள் பார்க்கும்போது நமக்கு என்ன தோணுது? மேட் ஆஃப் பிளாஸ்டிக்ஸ். 10 வருஷம் ஓட்ட முடியுமா? பேட்டரி லைஃபை 3 to 4 இயர்ஸுங்கிறாங்க. எப்படி 10 வருஷம் யூஸ் பண்ண முடியும்? இந்த கொஷின்ஸ் எல்லாம் வருது இல்லையா? ஸோ த திங் இஸ், 2 விஷயம் மைண்டில் வச்சுக்கணும். ஒன்று, மேக்கிங் எ லாங் டேர்ம் ப்ராடக்ட். என் ப்ராடக்ட் நீ வாங்கினா 10 வருஷத்துக்கு என் ப்ராடக்ட் நீ யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். அப்போ நம்ம பிளாஸ்டிக் யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது. வாட் இஸ் ஆல்டர்னேட்? மெட்டல் போகக்கூடாது. பிகாஸ் வி ஆர் யூசிங் எலக்ட்ரிக் திங். நமக்கு அந்த அளவுக்கு ரேஞ்ச் இருக்காது, நம்மளோட பேட்டரியில் வந்து அந்த அளவுக்கு பவர் இருக்காது, ரேஞ்ச் கிடைக்காது. அப்போ மெட்டலுக்கு போகக்கூடாது. வாட் இஸ் அன் ஆல்டர்னேட் திங்? கார்பன் ஃபைபர்ஸ் அண்ட் காம்போசிட் மெட்டீரியல்ஸ். மேனுஃபேக்சர் வித் கார்பன் ஃபைபர்ஸ் அண்ட் காம்போசிட் மெட்டீரியல்ஸ். ஃபஸ்ட்டு டிசைன் கொண்டு வரது கஷ்டமாக தான் இருக்கும். டை காஸ்ட், அதுக்கான மிஷினிங் காஸ்ட், இதெல்லாம் ஹெவியாக இருக்கும். பட் ஒன்ஸ் யூ ஸ்டார்ட் டெவலப்பிங் ஏ காம்பனன்ட் அவுட்டர் பாடி வித் கார்பன் ஃபைபர்ஸ், தைரியமாக சொல்லி வைக்கலாம். ஆக்சிடென்ட் ஆனாலும் நீங்கள் தான் போவீங்க, வண்டி போகாது. மார்க்கெட்டிங் ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜி. மீட் வித் an accident, your vehicle goes home, you will never go home. First point. ஆமாம், ஆக்சிடென்ட்னா you will never go home. நான் தான் பார்க்குறேன் காலேஜ் பசங்க எப்படி பைக் ஓட்டுறீங்கன்னு. இன்னைக்கு காலைல கூட பார்த்தேன், there are many bikes overtaking me with your இது. ஆமாம், ஏன் இந்த பக்கம் வர காலேஜ் பசங்க உங்கள் பசங்களாக தான் இருப்பாங்க. I've seen how you people drive. So first thing, make a product that is in long term. Second, இன்னைக்கு ரேஞ்ச் பயம் இருக்கா எல்லாத்துக்கும்? ரேஞ்ச் பயம் இருக்குது. லைக் 70 கிலோமீட்டர்ஸ் இருக்குது, என் வீட்டுக்கும் காலேஜுக்கும் 50 கிலோமீட்டர்ஸ், 20 கிலோமீட்டர்ஸ் எனக்கு ரிசர்வ் இருக்குது. இந்த தைரியத்தில் நான் பைக் வாங்குறேன். வாட் இஃப் காலேஜில் என் ஃப்ரெண்டு பைக் எடுத்துகிட்டு ஒரு டீ சாப்பிட வெளியே போயிட்டு வந்துட்டான், இல்லை போகிற வழியில் வேற ஒருத்தர் பாட்டு போன ஒரு எமர்ஜென்சி, ஐ வில் ஹாவ் அ வெரி பிக் கொஸ்டின் மார்க், ரைட்? We have to adopt a technology that is used in Gulf countries. வெஹிக்கிள் வந்து ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணுற மாதிரி பேட்டரி ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. எவ்ரி பேட்டரி இஸ் அன் RFID ஆக்டிவேட்டட் பேட்டரி. எஸ், பேட்டரியை கழட்டி நான் எங்கே போகணுமோ சார்ஜிங் ஸ்டேஷன்ஸ் எவ்ரி 2 கிலோமீட்டர்ஸ்க்கு இருக்கும். ரிமூவ் இட், புட் இட், அங்கே சார்ஜ் இருக்கிற பேட்டரி எடுத்து RFID ஸ்கேன் பண்ணிட்டு யூ கேன் புட் இன் யுவர் வெஹிக்கிள். they are getting tried, but it is not getting successful. என்ன அப்படின்னா, நம்ம ஊரில் ஓப்பன் ஸ்பேஸில் பேட்டரி வச்சுட்டு போனேன்னு வையேன், you get it? அதான் பிரச்சனை. இதுக்கும் பண்ணலாம். லைக் என்னென்னா, இந்த ஸ்மார்ட் பைக் கொண்டு வந்தாங்க இல்லையா, சைக்கிள்ஸ், அது எப்படி கொண்டு வந்தாங்கன்னா வேறு ஆப் டெவலப் பண்ணி அதை அங்கே லாக் பண்ணி வச்சுருக்கிற மாதிரி, ஆத்தரைஸ்டு பர்சன் இருந்தால் மட்டும்தான் அதை எடுக்கிற மாதிரி இதெல்லாம் பண்ண முடியும். பட் இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர் காஸ்ட் இஸ் வெரி ஹை. இன்றைக்கி வெஹிக்கிளில் நம்ம கவர்மெண்ட் இப்போ தான் சப்போர்ட் பண்ணவே ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்காங்க. இனிமேல் தான் அதுக்கு பட்ஜெட்டில் ஃபண்டெல்லாம் ஒதுக்குவாங்க. அது மாதிரிலாம் வரும்போது இந்த மாதிரி ஐடியாஸ் இருக்குது, இந்த ஐடியாஸ் ஒரு ப்ராஜெக்ட் ரிப்போர்ட்டாக வச்சிருக்கு அப்படின்னா, அவங்க எப்போ ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுறாங்களோ அதுக்கு ஒரு 6 மாதத்துக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு கம்பெனி ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணி நம்ம ஸ்டார்ட் அப் கம்பெனியை டெவலப் பண்ணலாம். இதுதான் பிரச்சனை. இந்த 2 பிரச்சனைனால தான் நானே பைக் வாங்காமல் இருக்கேன். ஒன்றும் சரி, பெட்ரோல் போட்டு கார் ஓட்ட முடியாது, என்ன பண்ணலாம்? LPG போட்டுக்கோ. சிஎன்ஜி வைக்கிறது காரில் இடம் இல்லை, LPG போட்டுக்கோ. அட்லீஸ்ட் 1 kg வர்ற இடத்துல நான் ஒரு 1/4 kg வர்றேன் CO2 கேஸஸாக. ஸோ இந்த பிரச்சனைனால தான் இன்னும் வெஹிக்கிள்ஸ் மேலே நமக்கு அந்த கிரேஸ் வரல. when you start overcoming all this, design, forget design. Hyundai Kona அழகாக இருக்குது, MG ஹெக்டர் பார்க்குறதுக்கு அப்பீலிங்காக இருக்குது. MG வாட் யூ கால் EV, ஹெக்டர் இல்லை, ஹெக்டருக்கு முன்னாடி EV. ஹெக்டர் வந்து ஆமாம் சிமிலர் டு தட் ஒரு SUV மாதிரி கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. பட் அது SUV கிடையாது. SUVங்கிற பேரே இந்தியாவில் கெடுத்துட்டாங்க. மினிமம் 10 members போகிற வெஹிக்கிள் தான் SUVன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. நம்ம ஊருக்கு அதெல்லாம் 5 பேர் போகிற வண்டி தான். The outer body structure is like that, so we call it as an SUV. The appearance of the vehicle doesn't matter when it gives the quality. இன்றைக்கும் ராயல் என்ஃபீல்டில் வந்து நம்ம அனலாக் மீட்டர் தான் வச்சுருக்கோம். இன்றைக்கும் நம்ம சுவிட்ச் போட தான் லைட் எரியும். செல்ஃப் ஸ்டார்ட் இன்றைக்கி நீட் ஆஃப் தி ஹவர், அதனால் கொண்டு வந்துட்டாங்க. எல்லாமே பேசிக்ஸ் தான். நோ மச் டெக்னாலஜிஸ் லைக் வி கெட் இன் KTM மாதிரிலாம். பட் ஸ்டில் இட் இஸ் கெட்டிங் சோல்ட். ஸோ ஃபர்கெட் டிசைனிங். அப்பியரன்ஸ்க்கு செகண்ட் ப்ரியாரிட்டி கொடு. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ப்ரியாரிட்டி இஸ் தி லைஃப் ஆஃப் தி வெஹிக்கிள் அண்ட் தி யூட்டிலிட்டி ஆஃப் தி வெஹிக்கிள். சி பிலோ 60 kilometers or 40 kilometers போனால் அந்த வெஹிக்கிள் ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ண வேண்டியது இல்லை, ரைட்? ஸ்பீட் ரேஞ்ச் இருக்குது அண்ட் பேட்டரி ஒரு ரேஞ்சும் இருக்குது. அது இருந்தால் யூ டோன்ட் ஹேவ் டு ரெஜிஸ்டர் தி வெஹிக்கிள், எனிபடி கேன் டிரைவ். அப்போ எனிபடி கேன் டிரைவ்னா யார் வாங்குவாங்க? ஸ்கூல் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், ஸ்கூலுக்கு போயிட்டு வர்றதுக்கு, 10th 12th ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், காலேஜ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வீட்டுக்கு பக்கத்துலேருந்து போயிட்டு வர்றதுக்கு. அப்போ அவங்களுக்கு பிடிச்ச மாதிரி வண்டி இருக்கணும். அப்போ அவனுக்கு 2 விதம். ஒன்று, அவன் லைசன்ஸ் இருக்கணும்னு அவசியம் கிடையாது. செகண்டு, அவன் சேஃபாக வீட்டுக்கு போயிட்டு அவங்க பேரண்ட்ஸும் வாங்கி கொடுத்துருவாங்க. உனக்கு நான் KTM வாங்கி கொடுத்தா நீ லாரிக்குள்ளே போய் போதுவேன். இந்த வண்டி 30 km ஸ்பீடில் தான் போகும். அப்போ நீ யாரையும் ஓவர்டேக் பண்ண மாட்டேன், நீ சேஃபாக வந்து சேர்ந்துருவேன். அப்போ ஆஸ் அ பேரண்ட் ஐ வில் கெட் யூ தி வெஹிக்கிள். அட் தி சேம் டைம் எனக்கு வெஹிக்கிளும் வித்துருச்சு. மார்க்கெட்டிங் ஆஸ்பெக்ட். ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட்டை கஸ்டமரை கொண்டு போய் சேர்த்தும் போது அவன் எதுக்காக யூஸ் பண்ணுறான்னு அவனுக்கு ஃபஸ்ட்டு புரிய வைக்கணும். ஃபஸ்ட்டெல்லாம் மொபைல் ஃபோன் வந்துச்சு, நோக்கியாவில் பெரிய செங்கல் ஃபோன் வந்துச்சு, தூக்கிட்டு போகிறது கஷ்டமாக தான் இருந்துச்சு, அசிஸ்டன்ட் தான் தூக்கிட்டு வருவான். இன்றைக்கி நம்ம ஃபோன் அசிஸ்டண்ட்டை கொடுப்போமா? கொடுப்போம். 7 லாக் போட்டு கொடுப்போம். ஒரு ஆப்புக்கும் ஒரு பாஸ்வேர்டு இருக்கும். இட் இஸ் கெட்டிங் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபார்ம் ரைட். அந்த மாதிரி தான். ஆப்பிள் ஃபோன்ஸ் எல்லாம் அதுக்கு ரீசனே அதுதான். இட் இஸ் ஹைலி செக்யூர்ட், நோபடி கேன் ஓப்பன் இட். அதனால தான் இட் இஸ் கெட்டிங் சோல்ட் ஹை. அந்த மாதிரி நம்மளோட டெக்னாலஜியை வந்து யார் யூஸ் பண்ணுறாங்களோ அவங்களுக்கு அதை புரிய வச்சு அவங்களுக்கு விற்க ட்ரை பண்ணணும். தேர் இஸ் த மேஜர் ரீசன் ஆஃப் எர்கோனாமிக்ஸ் ஆஃப் தி வெஹிக்கிள். இந்த 2 இயரை கான்சன்ட்ரேட் பண்ணால் போதும், வண்டி வித்தரலாம். லாங் டேர்ம் எதர் பேட்டரி கழட்டி சார்ஜ் போடுற மாதிரி வேணும். வண்டி வாங்கும்போது 2 பேட்டரி எக்ஸ்ட்ரா கொடு, வீட்டில் கழட்டி சார்ஜ் போட்டுக்கோ. நான் இப்போ வீட்டுக்கு போகிறேன், இல்லை எங்கேயாவது வெளியூர் போகணும், 2 பேட்டரி தூக்கி டிக்கியில் வச்சுட்டு நான் கொண்டு போயிடுவேன். இன்றைக்கி கோனா வந்து 240 கிலோமீட்டர்ஸ் ரேஞ்ச் சொல்கிறாங்க, 210 தான் போகுது. அப்போ நான் இங்கேருந்து சேலம் வரைக்கும் தான் போக முடியும். நான் சென்னை போகணும், நான் கோனா எடுத்துகிட்டு போக மாட்டேன். இந்த பேட்டரி ஸ்வாப்பிங் சிஸ்டம் என்கிட்ட இருந்துச்சுன்னா நான் டிக்கியில் தூக்கி வச்சுக்குவேன், இது தீர்ந்ததுக்கப்புறம் இதை தூக்கி போட்டுருவேன், கிளம்பி போயிடுவேன். இப்போ அதுலேயும் ஒரு கேம் விளாட்லாம். என்ன தெரியுமா? பிரேக்கிங் சிஸ்டமில் ரீஜெனரேட்டிவ் பிரேக்கிங் வைக்கலாம். ஏன்னா ரூஃபில் வந்து நானோ சோலார் பேனல்ஸ் வைக்கலாம். நான் டிக்கியில் பேட்டரி சும்மா வைக்காமல் ஒரு மைல்டாக சார்ஜ் ஆகிற அளவுக்கு நான் கொண்டு வரலாம். இதெல்லாம் தான் நீடட் இன்னோவேஷன்ஸ் அட் தி ரைட் டைம். இதெல்லாம் நீ பண்ணி கொடுக்குறியா? இது ஒரு ப்ராஜெக்ட் ரிப்போர்ட்டாக இருக்கா? இது ஒர்க் ஆகும்னு நினைக்கிறியா? கொண்டு போய் இப்போ யார் ஈவிக்கில் பண்ணுறாங்க அவன்கிட்ட ப்ராஜெக்ட் கொடு. ஃபைனலியாக முடிச்சிட்டேன், நேராக உண்டாக்கி போ, கிளம்பி போ, திஸ் இஸ் மை ப்ராஜெக்ட், பார்த்துக்கோ, உன் வெஹிக்கிளுக்கு இது பண்ணிக்கோ, எனக்கு வேலை கொடுத்துரு, R&Dயில் வேலை முடிஞ்சு போச்சு. நீ நினச்ச மாதிரி எம்என்சியும் கிடச்சிது, லாக்ஸில் சேலரியும் கிடச்சிது, உன்னோட ப்ராஜெக்ட்டும் சக்ஸஸ்ஃபுல்லாக மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு வந்துருச்சு. இல்லை நான் ஒன்று எடுத்துக்க மாட்டேன்னா, சரி நான் வெளியிலேருந்து செஞ்சு தரேன், ஒரு ப்ராடக்டோட காஸ்ட் இவ்வளோ, என்கிட்ட வாங்கிக்கோ. அப்போ நான் எல்லாருக்கும் கொடுப்பேன், நாட் ஓன்லி ஃபார் ஹுண்டாய். நான் கியாக்கு கொடுக்கலாம், தே ஆர் ஒர்க்கிங் வித் இ-வெஹிக்கிள்ஸ் நவ். ஃபோர்ட் பிளான்ட்டை வந்து ஓலா எலக்ட்ரிக் எடுத்து அவங்க தே ஆர் மேனுஃபேக்சரிங் கார்ஸ் நவ், அவங்களுக்கு கொடுக்கலாம். ஐ எம் சக்ஸஸ்ஃபுல் என்டர்பிரனர். ஒரு 5 வருஷம் கழிச்சு இதே ஹெச்ஓடி சார் உங்களை கால் பண்ணுவார், தம்பி காலேஜுக்கு கொஞ்சம் ஸ்பீச் கொடுத்துட்டு போன்னு, ஜாலியாக வந்தியா, நல்லா சாப்பிட்டியா, என்ஜாய் பண்ணிட்டு போகலாம். டோன்ட் டேக் ரிஸ்க் இன் லைஃப். பட் ரிஸ்க் எடுக்காமல் லைஃப் கிடையாது. புரியுதா? டோன்ட் டேக் ரிஸ்க் இன் லைஃப். ரிஸ்க் இன் லைஃபுக்கும் லைஃப்பில் ரிஸ்க்குக்கும் டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் இருக்குது. சரி, ஒரே பிரச்சனை தெரியுமா லைஃப்பில்? அட்மோஸ்ட் ப்ராப்ளம். இன்றைக்கி நான் இருக்கேன், நாளைக்கு நான் இல்லை, இதுதான் இருக்கிற அட்மோஸ்ட் ப்ராப்ளம். நான் எந்த அளவுக்கு ரிஸ்க் எடுக்கலாம்னா, நாளைக்கு நான் இல்லாமல் போகிற அளவுக்கு நான் ரிஸ்க் எடுக்கக்கூடாது. நாளைக்கு நான் இருக்கணுங்கிறதுக்காக ரிஸ்க் எடுக்கலாம். வெரி ஸ்மால் glitch between these two things. So keep working on it. Make technology your friend. பக்கத்தில் இருக்கிற ஃப்ரெண்ட் உனக்கு சப்போர்ட் பண்ணுவானான்னு தெரியாது. யூ பிலீவ் மீ ஆர் நாட், என்னோட கிளாஸ்மேட், என்னோட பெஞ்ச்மேட் இஸ் ஒர்க்கிங் வித் மீ, ஹி இஸ் ஒர்க்கிங் ஃபார் மீ. ஆஃபீஸ்க்குள்ள போனால் அவன் சார் தான் கூப்பிட்டாகணும் கட்டாயம். வெளியே வந்ததுக்கப்புறம் தான் மாமன் வச்சாரலாம். தட் ஷுட் நாட் ஹேப்பன் டு யூ பீப்புள். ஸ்டார்ட் ஒர்க்கிங் வித் டெக்னாலஜி. நாளைக்கு இருக்கிற 50 பேர் 50 டெக்னாலஜியில் எக்ஸ்பர்ட்ஸாக இருங்க. 50 பேர் 50 பேருக்கு சப்போர்ட் பண்ணுங்கள். மேக் யோர் செல்ஃப் ரிச், மேக் தி கண்ட்ரி ரிச். விஷ் யூ ஆல் சக்ஸஸ். தேங்க்யூ அண்ட் ஜெய் ஹிந்த்.